Liv Morgan explains why she made major change in WWE. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am Elena. Have a nice day. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Liv Morgan has come a long way in WWE. She has been around for nearly a decade, and over the years, her appearance has changed drastically. From the Riot Squad's pink hair, blue tongue upstart look to the Judgment Day's dark aesthetic, Morgan's presentation has always captured fans' attention. Morgan was previously known for sporting unique sneakers on TV, but she ditched them in favor of amateur wrestling shoes in 2019. On the Battleground podcast, the Miracle Kid discussed using Converse Air Jordan sneakers as part of her ring attire. The Judgment Day revealed that in 2019, she underwent a character makeover and decided to get rid of the sneakers. After sporting boots for a while, she now wears ASIC wrestling shoes along with kick pads and covers for the aesthetic. The 2026 Women's Royal Rumble match winner wanted a whole new look for her character, which led her to make the major change. So now, I wear just like an ASIC wrestling shoe, amateur wrestling shoe, and I put kick pads over it, and then a leg cover over that to kind of give it the aesthetic. But it was really just that. It was just me kind of wanting to be brand new, and that was getting rid of everything that I loved, Liv Morgan said. Liv Morgan's sentiments don't allow her to make space in shoe racks. On the same podcast, Liv Morgan was asked about her favorite pairs of sneakers. She recalled going through her shoe rack recently to make space in it. However, her sentiments prevented her from even taking out the older pairs, as she wore the most in the ring, creating memorable moments. Morgan recently saw her Durenbecker 8s, which she potentially wore in New York. The shoes were seemingly part of her Mets-inspired wrestling gear. The former women's world champion explained how each pair meant something to her, and it was hard for her to throw them away. Liv Morgan opens up on her relationship with two ex-WWE stars. "We really became a family." Liv Morgan made her main roster debut in 2017. She was a part of the faction, the Riot Squad, which then took over SmackDown. Over the years in kayfabe, they had ups and downs. However, they stayed true to their friendship in real life. The Riot Squad was led by former WWE stars Ruby Riot, now Ruby Soho, and Sarah Logan, aka Valhalla. While speaking on the Battleground podcast, Morgan recalled tagging with Ruby and Sarah all over the world. Wrestling multiple times a week, Liv grew up to be a tag team specialist because of the Riot Squad. The Judgment Day member also stated how Riot and Logan had been wrestling longer than her, yet they were patient, took her under their wing, and taught her everything she knows. Now apart from wrestling, Liv stated that they used to have so much fun. They bonded like a family and still keep in touch. Morgan claims her foundation and the fundamentals of tag team prowess are due to the Riot Squad. It is a testament to her tag team routine in those years that now she has the most reigns with the Women's Tag Team Championship, with Raquel Rodriguez though. But honestly, we just had so much fun. Me and the girls, we just had so much fun. We really became a family. We still keep in touch. And so I feel like the foundation and the fundamentals of my tag team prowess, form from the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan said. Liv Morgan and Natalya have competed in every Women's Royal Rumble match. Ever since its inception in 2018 until now in 2026, 9 editions in, Women's Royal Rumble has been historic. All winners have made it to WrestleMania for their world title shot. Some of them have successfully clinched that chance and created history. Amongst all the numbers and records, one stat remains: the fact that Liv Morgan and Natalya have entered every Royal Rumble. Speaking on the same Battleground podcast, Liv stated this record and proved her iconic status. She also humbled herself while saying Natalya is also the one who eliminated her the quickest, in 8 seconds. However, Morgan feels redeemed this year, as she eliminated Natty and won the Royal Rumble in a full circle moment. 4 times WWE superstars were reduced to tears on TV. WWE is a unique blend of athleticism and storytelling. While in-ring action is an important part of the equation, stakes and emotions are added to it through storylines. Sometimes, the on-screen characters find themselves in situations where they lose control and burst into tears. On the latest episode of Raw, it happened with Liv Morgan, who cried after Stephanie Vicker cut a fiery promo on her. In this listicle, we will look at 4 times WWE superstars were reduced to tears on TV. Giants also have a heart. This was on full display on the September 2nd, 2013 episode of Monday Night Raw, where the Big Show went one-on-one with Daniel Bryan. The world's largest athlete had Bryan right where he wanted, as he was about to hit the WMD. However, the Giant refused and started walking away. However, Triple H's music hit as he came with the Shield. The King of Kings abused his power and ordered the Big Show to finish the job. The former World Heavyweight Champion was conflicted and started crying after the game kept on insisting. The Big Show refused to do it and walked away, but Stephanie McMahon came out and the Giant was finally forced to knock Daniel Bryan out with tears in his eyes. This past Monday wasn't the first time Liv Morgan burst into tears on live television. In 2024, the Miracle Kid was embroiled in a heated rivalry with Rhea Ripley. To play mind games with Mommy, Morgan started pursuing Ripley's on-screen boyfriend, Dominic Mysterio. After weeks of tension, Dirty Dom finally made his choice, and it wasn't the one Liv Morgan liked. On the July 22, 2024 episode of WWE Raw, Mysterio didn't just reject Morgan. He straight up told her that he hated her. The heartbreak left the Miracle Kid in tears. The Devil's favorite demon's human side came out in 2010 when his on-screen father, Paul Bearer, was kidnapped by Edge. Kane was frantically searching for Bearer, but to no avail. The frustration, mixed with anger and sadness, caused the Big Red Machine to start crying backstage. WWE Hall of Famer Brie Bella. In 2014, Brie Bella became involved in Daniel Bryan's battle against the Authority, leading to her facing Stephanie McMahon at WWE SummerSlam. At the event, Nikki Bella shockingly turned on her twin sister, allowing McMahon to win. On the August 25, 2014 episode of Raw, Jerry Lawler hosted a family reconciliation with Nikki and Brie. The Fearless One didn't hold back, highlighting all her issues with her sister. Brie couldn't bear to hear such demeaning things from Nikki and burst into tears. Liv Morgan says it's highly likely she wins non-WWE title. Liv Morgan has her sights set on a non-WWE championship. Liv Morgan recently won the Royal Rumble for the first time in her career, guaranteeing her a major title match at WrestleMania 42. Morgan is keeping fans and champions waiting, as she has yet to make her decision over which title she will challenge for on the grandest stage of them all. However, Women's World Champion Stephanie Vacker and WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill have both indicated that they want Morgan to challenge them. However, could Morgan have her eyes on a non-WWE prize as well? Liv Morgan open to AA a title. Chelsea Green and Ethan Page recently lost the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship, despite Green not being able to compete in a match. An injury to Green saw her replaced by La Hydra, in a match that saw Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice win the gold. But given that Morgan's man, Dominic Mysterio, is the current AAA Mega Champion, could she team up with Mysterio to go after the tag team title themselves? Speaking on the Battleground podcast about that possibility, Morgan noted that it was very likely going to happen this year. "I think that is totally an option. I said that 2026 is the year of the Judgment Day, so me making a trip to AAA and us winning those mixed tag titles doesn't sound out of the realm of possibility. It actually sounds highly likely. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens." Stephanie Vaquer apologizes for controversial line from WWE Raw segment. Apologizes after a controversial remark on WWE Raw. On this week's Monday Night Raw, Stephanie Vaquer interrupted Liv Morgan's interview with Michael Cole, where she cut a scathing promo. The Women's World Champion recalled the difficulties of her upbringing and noted she had it worse compared to the Judgment Day member. La Primera discredited Morgan's hard work and expressed that while the latter was given everything by the WWE, the former grew up in Chile, where wrestling doesn't exist, and traveled all over the world to get where she is today. The champion continued that Liv is behind Dominic Mysterio and the rest of the Judgment Day, while the former went through hell to get to the top. The promo was extremely passionate and heated that it made Liv Morgan burst into tears. However, some fans took offense to one aspect that Stephanie Vaquer had to say. Stephanie Vaquer apologizes for saying wrestling doesn't exist. In Chile following the WWE promo, Stephanie Vaquer apologized on her Instagram story about her statements. La Primera shared that her statement of professional wrestling not existing in Chile meant that the sport wasn't fully developed when she was beginning her career, not that it didn't have any talented wrestlers. The Women's World Champion shared that it was a mistake in wording during a live broadcast and extended her apology and support to Chilean wrestlers who made professional wrestling in Chile a reality. "Today, I made a mistake when I said, wrestling doesn't exist in Chile. It does exist, and we have excellent wrestlers and a great deal of talent. What I meant to say is that it didn't exist when I emigrated from my country. At that time, professional wrestling wasn't developed in Chile. It was a slip of the tongue on live television. I offer my sincerest apologies and send a huge hug to all the Chilean wrestlers who, with effort and dedication, have made wrestling in Chile a reality today. My respects and sincere apologies." WE star Dominic Mysterio's sister backs Liv Morgan instead of Rhea Ripley. WWE Intercontinental and AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio has settled comfortably into his role as one of top villains in the company. His character leans into chaos, and he keeps that spotlight burning by claiming he is son of the late Eddie Guerrero rather than Rey Mysterio, which keeps his long-running feud with Rey alive and heated. His on-screen relationships only add more fuel. Dominic was paired with Rhea Ripley for a long stretch before he turned on her and aligned himself with Liv Morgan, who now appears with him regularly on WWE programming. That shift brought fresh story tension and pushed his character into an even bolder direction. Sherilyn Guerrero's take on Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Sherilyn Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero's daughter, stepped into spotlight with her own thoughts in a recent interview with Muscleman Malcolm. Speaking in full character, she said Liv Morgan earned her approval and passed her test as a sister. She described Liv as someone who could handle herself in any situation and joked that she would have been intimidated if Rhea Ripley were the one standing beside Dominic instead. She mentioned that Dominic surrounds himself with strong women like Roxanne and Raquel, people who can keep him grounded, but made it clear that she views Liv as the best fit for him right now. Her comments were playful but carried the extra weight that comes whenever a Guerrero family name is involved. Meanwhile, Dominic's championship path continues to move forward. The latest episode of Monday Night Raw featured a #1 contenders match between Penta and El Grande Americano to determine who will challenge him next. Penta took win and secured a future shot at Intercontinental Championship, which puts Dominic's next title defense on the horizon.